Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Years ago, I used to belong to a photography, a camera club, which, well, only briefly. I wasn't there for very long, but I used to go to this camera club that was attached to one of the local churches here. I think it still goes, and there's another local church here has got a camera club as well. But I was always very impressed because one of the men who ran the camera club, his wife, because we were a Christian group, his wife, before we started the meeting, always found a devotional thing based on the Bible and about birds that she found in the Bible. And I was in awe of how she could do that. Month after month, come up with a devotion about birds coming out of the Bible. And I come across this when I was looking through one of these books that I was just talking about recently with my video about bird watching. I came across this inside one of the books, and this was I used to do some lay preaching in the Renmark Uniting Church in South Australia, and when I was there, there was an article in the local paper that someone had put in there, which I think is really great. And I used it as part of my communion talk in the nursing home church where I now belong or go to and help coordinate. And lay people in churches of Christ are able to do communion talks. And so I wove this little anecdote or this little story that was in, because it's related to photography. And I just thought I'd share this with you. It's not about birds actually, it's about photography. So here we go. And I wrote, last Sunday we worshipped in Renmark. So this was some years ago now. And here's this little poem or this little article that was in the newsletter of the Renmark West Uniting Church and the Renmark Town Uniting Church. It's called Thunder and Lightning. So take this as a communion talk if you like, and you can sit there and have communion by yourself if you like. Have a glass of grape juice and some bread and commune with your Lord. Here it is, Thunder and Lightning. A small child walked to and from school. Though the weather one morning was questionable and clouds were forming, this child made the daily trek to the elementary school. As the day progressed, the winds whipped up along with thunder and lightning. The mother was worried that her child would be frightened walking back home from school, and she herself feared the electrical storm might harm her child. Following the roar of the thunder, lightning would cut through the sky like a flaming sword. Being concerned, the mother got into her car and drove along the route to her child's school. Soon she saw her small child walking along, but at each flash of lightning the child would stop, look up at the sky and smile. One followed another, each time with her child stopping, looking up at the streak of light and smiling. Finally the mother called and asked, "What are you doing?" Her child answered, "I'm smiling for God. He keeps taking pictures of me." Isn't that amazing? So, this is what I shared with the congregation in the nursing home. As we get older, we can sometimes be accused of entering a second childhood, a little like being born again. I say that with some reservations. Maybe I'm getting close to my second childhood. It is true that when we become Christians, born again that's called in the Bible, then we often start off with a childlike faith. Then the cares and trials of this world can begin to choke our faith. That is, if we let them. And here's a little prayer, part of a prayer. I thank thee, O Father, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed these unto babes. At this time of life, many of us have had many challenges in life, and indeed we may now be facing some of the toughest. In fact, many of the people who I would have shared this with have since passed on. Let's, during this communion service, determine once again to trust Jesus with childlike faith. And I've put another few lines here from one of my mentors, Frank Hunting's writings. he says this: the one characteristic of a baby, is its utter dependency on its parents. Establish this relationship with God and you shall know, yes, you shall know the deep and the high and the wide things about God. You will know God, and in knowing God, you will know the hidden meanings of life. Amen. Thanks for watching.